So one of Fi's most recent videos, I was asked, instead of talking about how good Jinx was, to show how good Jinx was. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is by comparing her to CAITLYN, because right now CAITLYN is also one of the best crit ADs on the patch right now. Obviously, overall, one of the best AD carries, of course, is Lucian, but relative to Jinx, CAITLYN is kind of the same as a crit AD and stuff like that. One of CAITLYN's strengths, and part of why she's so powerful right now, is in the build itself, right? Storm Razor, some people say, got gutted or whatever, but if you build as a fourth item on CAITLYN, why she's so powerful right now, is if you synergize the energized attacks from all of its abilities with your headshot proc, it can actually do an insane amount of damage. Now granted, we're only level 1 right now, so we could maybe, like, let's say the late game is gonna be like, we'll actually go level 12, because I don't know, I have a dummy up over here, but I don't know how much armor and stuff they have. Let's just click over there and let's move this out the way so we can see. So it has about 100 armor and 100 magic resist, so it's a little bit beefy. So let's level up some stuff, let's get some levels on things, and not do the ultimate because whatever. And let's say, well, I don't have a headshot proc right now, but right now we just have these energized attacks, like a pseudo full build, and you can kind of see the damage once I start clicking. It looks like not a lot at all, actually. There's a crit for 359 damage, 600, and dang, that was 647 damage when you have the headshot proc. So the idea is, okay, so the next thing we'll headshot proc, we're gonna walk around, get our energized stuff open, we're gonna shoot this guy, and it's gonna do 647 damage with another 157 magic damage on top of that. So if you combine those, it is about over 800 damage on a single auto attack that also slows and does a bunch of other stuff, and that's part of why she's so good right now. That was actually 883 damage and 150 something. So we could actually level it up. I didn't level up as much as I was going to because I was like, oh, actual enemy champions and stuff will have, armor or stuff like that. We'll actually let the minions spawn too because we do have an enemy Lucian in this game. So once again, we'll get our headshots, stacked back up and get an idea of like super late game what this is gonna look like. So now we have the headshot proc, we have the energized attack. Watch this minion dummy. Ready? Yeah, 743 damage with an additional 205 magic damage. So definitely, what is that, over 900, almost 950 damage off the top of my head. We do it again just to show it. That was actually a lot weaker. I'm not really a CAITLYN player, so I'm not good at this. But as you can see, right, like as we're just doing this, there's just a bunch of damage she can do. She can do it from a bunch of range, and with the slow, she's gonna be able to chase people down relatively easily. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go bully this Lucian who doesn't probably have any levels, but that's totally fine by me. I don't really care. We should have gotten our headshot proc first. That's what I should have did though. He's here somewhere. All right, so here we go. Let's get it energized. He's over there. Pop him. Wow. Now, he's only level 10, so it's not really that impressive, but still, you get, like I said, you get the idea. 1,013 damage. Now, he's like level 10, so part of that's his lack of armor, but like, that's the idea behind CAITLYN. I did that so you have those numbers comparison, so when we jump to Jinx in a second, which we're about to get into, you can understand like why, first of all, CAITLYN's a thing, why Storm Razor's a thing on her, etc., and then Jinx's advantages and the damage that I was talking about on those other stuff. So we'll be right back with Jinx in a second. So now we're back with Jinx, and one of the things I want to start off with is why I say that she's like low-key under the radar, one of the best ADs in the patch. So on her rocket launcher, she deals 110% damage to the target and nearby enemies. So basically there's like 10% extra AD on her rocket form. But on top of that, they did a buff to her back in 8.13, which allowed the bonus damage, that like extra 10% on the rockets, to crit, which it didn't do prior to that actually. You can ask August Browning over on Twitter, right? August, the kit designer for Jinx, about that. So basically what that means is that even though, the Infinity Edge only gives 225% instead of the 250 it used to, for Jinx there's a good extra 10%, plus that 10% can also crit, so it's like 20% if you ask him. These are his words, not mine. And it basically means a lot more damage in rocket form. So what does this mean versus CAITLYN, of course? Why then would CAITLYN be the more popular? The headshot interaction definitely makes, when you get the same build, it a lot. Oh, don't fire yet. What are you doing? Way more powerful on a headshot proc than it does on, say, Jinx, who doesn't have a headshot proc. However, it's only for the headshot proc. If you remember with the CAITLYN we just did, it was roughly around 340 something damage. With Jinx, meanwhile, and we're only level 1 right now, so this might not be, of course, accurate numbers, because she has the bonus damage in her rockets, which she'll just always have. That's about 346, so it's about the same as Caitlyn was without the headshot proc. So the thing we want to know now is, you know, as we scale with levels, the thing is, we're just going to have whatever damage we have throughout the whole entire game. So now we're just going to go to level 18, because I just realized, once again, these things have like 100 armor, so like this might not be the best example, but here we go. Here we go, we have rockets. Let's say this is late game. We have energized attack, we fire it. Yeah, 437. So even though Caitlyn with the headshot procs will still have like a lot, the thing about Jinx is like just auto attacks period in rocket form, they're just going to be good like always, because that 10% is always there. So I'm not saying that it necessarily makes Jinx, I'm biased of course, I'm going to say it makes Jinx better than Caitlyn. Just overall, if you're trying to climb, you probably want to then pick, you know, like if we go to minigun form, it's a little bit lower. But in rocket form, if you have enough mana, it's like 468. It gets pretty high with the magic damage in there as well. If you're supposed to build like a static shiv, that's something I didn't build yet, so it'd be like 500. This would be like super late game, of course, don't get me wrong. But that's my point. That's like, if you want to see numbers, you want to see a visual, part of why I'm doing it this way too, so that way I don't have to worry about like my teammates being like, hey, why are you just in base running around in circles AFK while game's going on? I didn't want to, you know, do that to like actual live people. So in case that bothers you, sorry about that, but I kind of took their consideration in, you know, thinking of this. But that's what I'm saying when I'm saying Jinx is low-key underrated and one of the strongest AD carries on this patch. Is that even though other Crit AD carries maybe have interactions like headshot and stuff, once Jinx especially gets to the max range by level 9, because that's the thing about Caitlyn, she will have the range immediately from level 1, Jinx will have to scale up, so you kind of want to get out of the lane phase to make this even the most effective. Her rockets are going to be always doing the same amount of damage instead of having to wait for a certain proc like Caitlyn will. Now granted, of course, the flip side of that argument, Caitlyn will be able to get that proc often because she built attack speed, so she's going to be DPSing often, sure. But like, I don't know, for Jinx, like I said, it's going to be a constant. And like late game, her mana regen's pretty good. She has like over 1,000 mana as it is. You'll have plenty of rockets, and if you're using all of this, the enemy team is like super beefy, and it probably wasn't your day anyways, right? So with that being said, let's go find Lucian. We gotta let the minions spawn to be able to find Lucian. He's not going to come out until we do that. But that's the numbers, basically, of why I say Jinx is super good right now, especially in lower elo, which is surprising to people. There's not a lot of peel down there, so people often wonder, how could Jinx be good down there? No one knows how to peel, because people don't know how to close out games down there. So you can get not peeled for all you want, you can still probably get your items, and a late game in-item Jinx probably doesn't need as much peel as, you know, maybe they would in high elo when they're trying to snowball a game at, say, 20 minutes or 25 minutes if they have a lead. So Lucian will be down here. We have this energized, ready to go, because that's how Jinx just functions without, you know, headshot proc. So, again, I'm biased. You have to, yeah, 566 damage, and it's just 566 damage. Oh, okay, or 606. It's just going to be that constantly. Again, he's under-leveled, so damage will be a little bit less because the actual enemy AD carry and stuff will scale. But that's the idea. Is that while Caitlyn definitely has some advantages, Jinx has that advantage, and I think no one's really taken into consideration. It's because they didn't revert the 8.13 compensation buffs, which is kind of why like Yasuo right now is a little bit out of control, a little bit wonky. If they do nerf him, they might actually only revert those changes, because those changes synergize very well, as Jinx's change in 8.13 has synergized very well. So hopefully, for those asking for numbers, for those wanting to see a visual, this helped out. This was a bit more of a visual. If there's an interaction I didn't do, because it's something I'm not thinking of, and you want me to, you know, hit back up here and do another video about it, hit me up in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to oblige. But thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I noticed y'all. Thank you all for joining. We do primarily Jinx videos. Sometimes we do some in-between, funnier, wackier videos for the comedy crowd that I attracted somehow. I don't know about that. I don't know how that mixes, but we'll try and balance it as we go. Obviously, though, every Wednesday's a Jinx video, and it's all appreciated nonetheless. I've seen your comments. They've been overall, you know, pretty good, positive, and all that stuff. That's all for this video for me. So, of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button, but I don't know which video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.